Visit parthakachana.com for technology resources and stock analysis. 50 intermediate level, prompt engineering, interview questions with corresponding answers. 1. What are the key differences between fine-tuning a model and prompt engineering? Answer. Fine-tuning involves retraining the model on specific datasets to modify its behavior, requiring more resources and expertise. In contrast, prompt engineering focuses on modifying the input prompts to guide the model's output, making it a quicker and more accessible method for controlling the AI's responses. 2. How does prompt length affect the performance of large language models like GPT? Answer. Prompt length can affect performance by providing more context, which helps the model generate more accurate or relevant responses. However, too long of a prompt can introduce unnecessary complexity or lead to incomplete responses, especially if the prompt exceeds the model's token limit. 3. What techniques can you use to minimize model hallucination in responses through prompt design? Answer. To minimize hallucination, you can design prompts that explicitly request fact-based information, specify reliable sources, and add constraints like only provide answers based on widely accepted facts, or use data from the past 5 years. Regularly refining and specifying prompts also helps control hallucination. 4. How does prompt engineering affect model latency, and what factors should you consider? Answer. Longer, more complex prompts can increase model latency because they require more processing time. To reduce latency, you should focus on keeping prompts concise and removing unnecessary details. Efficiently structuring prompts helps ensure quicker and more accurate responses. 5. What role do prompt templates play in improving model consistency? Answer. Prompt templates standardize the way you interact with the model, ensuring that similar prompts yield consistent results. By using predefined structures for different tasks, you can achieve more predictable outputs, especially in scenarios like customer support, content generation, or report writing. 6. Can you explain how few-shot learning influences prompt engineering strategies? Answer. Few-shot learning involves providing a model with a few examples in the prompt to teach it how to perform a task. This approach enhances the model's ability to generalize from limited examples, improving its response accuracy for specific tasks like text classification, summarization, or translation. 7. How can you optimize prompts for multilingual language models? Answer. When optimizing prompts for multilingual models, it's important to specify the language clearly in the prompt. Additionally, cultural context should be considered, as direct translations may not always yield relevant responses. Testing the model's output in different languages can help refine the prompt for better accuracy. 8. How do reinforcement learning techniques influence prompt engineering? Answer. Reinforcement learning fine-tunes a model's responses by rewarding desirable outputs and penalizing undesirable ones. When paired with prompt engineering, this helps guide the model to generate more accurate, reliable, and contextually appropriate answers over time based on feedback from users or datasets. 9. In what scenarios would you use an instructional prompt over a conversational one? Answer. Instructional prompts are ideal for tasks that require step-by-step guidance, like tutorials or how-to-OS, where precision and clarity are key. Conversational prompts, on the other hand, are more suitable for chatbots or dialogue-based tasks, where maintaining a natural flow and interaction is important. 10. What is prompt chaining, and how does it enhance AI interactions? Answer. Prompt chaining involves using the output of one prompt as the input for the next, creating a sequence of interactions that build on each other. This technique is useful for complex tasks that require multiple steps or iterations, such as multi-turn dialogues, summarization, or decision-making workflows. 11. How would you approach debugging a prompt that produces incorrect or irrelevant information? Answer. Debugging involves first simplifying the prompt to isolate the issue, checking for vague or ambiguous instructions, and refining the language for clarity. Providing more context or examples can also help, and experimenting with alternative wording or adding constraints can guide the model toward the correct response. 12. Can you explain how context windows impact prompt engineering for large models like GPT-4? Answer. Context windows define the number of tokens a model can process in a single prompt. If a prompt exceeds the context window, the model may truncate the input, leading to incomplete or less accurate responses. Effective prompt engineering ensures that the prompt fits within the model's token limits to maintain performance. 13. How do you ensure a model maintains the same tone across multiple outputs using prompt engineering? Answer. To maintain a consistent tone, you can explicitly specify the tone in the prompt, such as respond in a formal and professional tone, or use a conversational, friendly tone. Using tone-specific examples or templates also helps guide the model to keep its responses consistent throughout. 14. What strategies would you use to prompt a model for generating technical versus non-technical content? Answer. For technical content, you should provide specific terminology, clear instructions, and examples relevant to the subject matter, ensuring the model stays precise. For non-technical content, the prompts can be more open-ended and allow the model to explore broader ideas with simpler language. 15. Can you describe how you would create prompts for tasks involving structured data, such as generating tables? Answer. When working with structured data, it's important to provide the model with clear formatting instructions, like create a table with rows for product name, price, and rating. Specifying the columns and rows ensures the model generates responses in the desired structure. 16. How would you modify a prompt to improve its generalization across multiple domains? Answer. To enhance generalization, focus on keeping the prompt neutral and applicable across different contexts. Avoid domain-specific jargon unless necessary, and structure the prompt to include multiple examples or scenarios to show the model how to adapt its response to various domains. 17. How does adding few-shot or zero-shot examples in prompts affect model performance? Answer. Few-shot examples help the model learn the expected response format by seeing a few examples within the prompt, improving accuracy. Zero-shot prompts, which provide no examples, rely entirely on the model's pre-training, which can work well for simpler tasks but may reduce accuracy for more complex ones. 18. What considerations would you make when engineering prompts for open-ended creative tasks? Answer. Open-ended prompts should encourage creativity by leaving room for the model to explore possibilities. You can specify certain constraints, like word limits or stylistic choices, but avoid being overly prescriptive to allow the model to generate more varied and imaginative outputs. 19. Can you explain the use of anchor words in prompt engineering? Answer. Anchor words are key terms or phrases placed in a prompt to guide the model's focus. For example, in the prompt, describe the benefits of remote work, focusing on productivity. The word productivity anchors the model to prioritize that aspect in its response, improving relevance. 20. How would you design prompts to mitigate offensive or harmful outputs? Answer. You can mitigate offensive or harmful outputs by adding constraints in the prompt, such as respond in a neutral, respectful tone without using discriminatory language. Regularly testing the model for biased responses and refining the prompts based on the results also helps ensure safe outputs. 21. What are some ways to use prompt engineering to extract specific types of information from a model? Answer. To extract specific information, design prompts that clearly state the request, such as list 3 key benefits of cloud computing. You can further improve specificity by adding constraints like summarize in 2 sentences, or focus on security benefits. 22. How does the model's training data influence prompt effectiveness in niche domains? Answer. A model's training data may lack sufficient coverage in niche domains, leading to less accurate responses. To counter this, prompt engineers can provide detailed context, use few-shot examples, or offer alternative phrasing to guide the model toward better results, despite limited training data in that area. 23. What strategies would you use to improve the diversity of responses generated from a single prompt? Answer. To improve response diversity, you can adjust the prompt to include variations like provide 3 different approaches to solving this problem, or generate 2 contrasting perspectives on this topic. Tweaking temperature and randomness settings also helps create more varied outputs. 24. How can you leverage prompt engineering to generate AI outputs that are aligned with company branding? Answer: to align AI-generated content with company branding, you can incorporate brand guidelines directly into the prompt, such as write a product description in a friendly and approachable tone, following brand name as voice. Using templates and examples consistent with the brand identity ensures the model generates on-brand content. 25. What are the key challenges when engineering prompts for multilingual tasks, and how do you address them? Answer: challenges include ensuring accurate translations and culturally relevant responses. To address these, clearly specify the desired language in the prompt, test outputs in multiple languages, and provide context that takes cultural nuances into account. Testing the model's responses across different languages helps refine prompts for multilingual use. 26. How does the model's temperature setting affect the creativity of its responses, and how does that relate to prompt engineering? Answer: the temperature setting controls the randomness of the model's outputs. A higher temperature generates more creative and diverse responses, while a lower temperature leads to more deterministic and predictable outputs. When engineering prompts, adjusting the temperature setting allows you to control how creative or conservative the model should be. 27. How do you balance specificity and flexibility in prompt engineering? Answer: balancing specificity and flexibility involves providing enough detail to guide the model toward accurate responses, while leaving room for the model to generate varied and creative outputs. For example, you might specify certain requirements, but leave others open-ended, depending on the task's objectives. 28. What role does prompt engineering play in ensuring ethical AI usage? Answer: prompt engineering helps ensure ethical AI usage by guiding the model to avoid generating harmful, biased, or offensive content. By including explicit instructions to maintain neutrality, avoid stereotypes, or prioritize factual information, prompt engineers can help mitigate unethical outputs. 29. How would you approach creating a prompt for generating marketing copy for a new product? Answer: for generating marketing copy, provide a prompt that includes the product's key features, target audience, and tone of voice. For example, create a product description for a smartwatch targeting fitness enthusiasts, focusing on health tracking features and using a friendly, engaging tone. 30. What is the impact of priming in prompt engineering, and how do you apply it in practice? Answer: priming involves using context or examples early in the prompt to influence the model's subsequent responses. For example, by starting a prompt with, as a cybersecurity expert, explain the risks of phishing attacks, you prime the model to respond from a specific perspective, improving relevance and accuracy. 31. What techniques can be used to guide a model toward generating informative rather than speculative answers? Answer: to guide a model toward informative answers, design prompts that request factual information or specify constraints, such as provide answers based on current data and avoid speculation. Additionally, including phrases like cite reliable sources or focus on verifiable information helps ensure the response is fact-based. 32. How do you approach creating prompts for AI models trained on specific domains, such as legal or medical fields? Answer: for domain-specific models, it's important to use terminology and examples that reflect the field. For example, in a legal context, a prompt might be, summarize the key provisions of the GDPR in relation to data privacy. By tailoring prompts to the domain, you can guide the model toward more accurate and relevant outputs. 33. What are the key components of an effective summary prompt, and how would you create one? Answer: an effective summary prompt includes clear instructions about what to condense and any specific points to highlight. For example, summarize the following article, focusing on the main arguments and any key data points in under 150 words. Providing a word limit ensures brevity. 34. How do you adjust prompts for different AI model architectures, such as transformers versus older models? Answer: when adjusting prompts for different model architectures, consider the strengths and limitations of each. For example, transformer models like GPT are better at handling longer, more complex prompts, so you can include more context and nuance. Older models may require simpler, more focused prompts to generate accurate results. 35. Can you explain the concept of zero-shot, one-shot, and few-shot learning in prompt engineering? Answer. Zero-shot learning involves giving the model a task without any examples in the prompt, relying entirely on pre-training. One-shot learning provides a single example to demonstrate the task. Few-shot learning offers a few examples within the prompt to guide the model toward the desired output, improving accuracy for more complex tasks. 36. What are some common mistakes to avoid in prompt engineering for intermediate level users? Answer. Common mistakes include making prompts too vague, which can lead to irrelevant or incomplete responses, or overloading the prompt with unnecessary details, which can confuse the model. It's also important to avoid ambiguous phrasing that might lead to unintended interpretations by the AI. 37. How do you handle scenarios where the model generates overly verbose or off-topic responses? Answer. To prevent verbose or off-topic responses, specify constraints in the prompt, such as summarize in 100 words or stay focused on the financial aspects. Adding phrases like be concise can also guide the model to stay on topic and produce more focused outputs. 38. How do you design prompts that enable a model to handle follow-up questions or multi-turn dialogues? Answer. When designing prompts for multi-turn dialogues, it's important to maintain context across the conversation. You can include phrases like based on your previous response, or provide a brief summary of earlier answers to help the model keep track of the conversation and generate coherent follow-ups. 39. What are some ways to design prompts that encourage models to cite reliable sources? Answer. To encourage citation of reliable sources, you can include specific instructions in the prompt, such as provide information based on data from trusted sources like academic journals or government reports. You can also request that the model list its sources explicitly. 40. How do you optimize prompts for summarization tasks across various content types, such as news, technical papers, or creative writing? Answer. For summarizing news, focus on asking for key facts and events. For technical papers, request a breakdown of methodologies, results, and conclusions. In creative writing, you can ask for a summary of themes, character arcs, and tone. Tailoring the prompt to the content type ensures accurate and relevant summaries. 41. What are the key considerations when designing prompts for generating unbiased and neutral AI responses? Answer. When designing prompts for neutral responses, it's important to avoid any leading or biased language. For example, instead of asking, why is X the best solution? You might ask, what are the pros and cons of X? Including explicit instructions to avoid bias helps reinforce neutrality. 42. Can you explain how prompt engineering helps in customizing AI models for specific industries, such as finance or healthcare? Answer. In industry-specific use cases, prompt engineering allows you to tailor the model's output by incorporating relevant terminology, regulations, and best practices from that industry. For example, in healthcare, prompts might focus on patient care guidelines, while in finance, they could address regulatory compliance. 43. What strategies would you use to create prompts that assist AI in generating creative outputs, such as writing fiction or poetry? Answer. To generate creative outputs, you can provide prompts that encourage imaginative thinking, such as write a short story in the style of a dystopian science fiction novel. You might also experiment with different styles, tones, or genres to push the model toward more diverse creative outputs. 44. How do you approach creating prompts for comparison tasks, such as comparing two products or ideas? Answer. When creating comparison prompts, it's important to clearly define the aspects to be compared. For example, compare product A and product B in terms of price, performance, and user reviews. Specifying the criteria ensures the model focuses on relevant details in its comparison. 45. What techniques can you use to guide a model toward generating actionable insights rather than just descriptions? Answer. To guide a model toward actionable insights, design prompts that ask for recommendations or solutions rather than just summaries. For example, based on the analysis, suggest 3 strategies to improve user engagement. This encourages the model to move beyond descriptive answers to provide practical advice. 46. How do you design prompts for AI models that need to process and respond to user emotions, such as in mental health applications? Answer. In mental health applications, prompts should be sensitive and empathetic. For example, respond with comforting and supportive language to someone feeling anxious. Including specific emotional cues in the prompt helps guide the model to respond appropriately based on the user's emotional state. 47. Can you explain the importance of token limitations in prompt engineering and how they affect output quality? Answer. Token limitations restrict how much information the model can process in a single prompt. If a prompt exceeds the token limit, it may result in truncated or incomplete responses. Effective prompt engineering ensures the prompt fits within the token limit while still conveying enough context to generate high-quality output. 48. How would you design prompts for tasks that require the model to generate step-by-step instructions or processes? Answer. For step-by-step instructions, structure the prompt to request specific, ordered steps. For example, list the steps for setting up a new email account on Gmail. Including clear sequencing and formatting requests ensures the model provides the output in the desired format. 49. What role do control tokens play in prompt engineering for certain models, and how do they affect the generated outputs? Answer. Control tokens are specific tokens added to a prompt to influence the model's output, such as controlling tone, length, or style. For example, in models that support control tokens, adding a formal token to the prompt can result in a more formal response, while a concise token may generate shorter answers. 50. What are the ethical considerations you should keep in mind when designing prompts for sensitive or controversial topics? Answer. When designing prompts for sensitive or controversial topics, it's important to avoid language that could lead to biased or harmful outputs. Explicitly instructing the model to remain neutral, focus on facts, and avoid inflammatory language helps ensure the responses are responsible and ethical. Additionally, regularly testing and refining prompts based on feedback can help address any unintended biases. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Visit parthakachana.com for technology resources and stock analysis.